Carson, want to thank you for coming along with your colleague to tell us about Mali. I want to drift a little bit away from that and ask you to kind of lay out what other countries in the Sahel and West Africa are of security concern to the United States with the the global effort against Islamic extremists and terrorism. And what other countries might you be here testifying along with Ms. Dory in the next year or two? And focus on the West Africa and the Sahel.
Congressman Sherman, I hope I'm not here testifying about about any of them, and I don't have a crystal ball. But let me just say that in my testimony, I mentioned that there are criteria that make states in the region susceptible to terrorism: weak governance, poor development, no borders or very porous borders, and communities that feel that they have legitimate grievances that are not being responded to by central government authorities. But I would say that there is a growing awareness on the part of governments across the Sahel region that AQIM does constitute a serious threat, that they need to work with one another to combat this threat, and they also need to respond to the economic and social needs of their people in a way that ensures that terrorist groups cannot make them vulnerable.
There are many West African and Sahel countries that want to thank you for not naming them individually in your response to my question. Ms. Dory, it has been widely reported that the U.S. is eager to build a drone base in Niger. To the extent you can tell us in an open hearing, has that base begun construction or even been completed? Are drones being launched from that base, and how many U.S. personnel are there?
To start, we do not have a drone base in Niger, so hopefully that is helpful. What I can say is that commensurate with the growing threat in the region, Africa Command, as well as the intelligence community, is very interested in increasing resources that are focusing on the region to improve our understanding of what is happening there. And we are seeing a growth in intelligence resources of all kinds, to include ISR. What you're referring to, in part, I believe, is news that stemmed from the recent conclusion of a status of forces agreement with the government of Niger. This is the type of foundational agreement that we pursue in many different countries in Africa that have regular relationships with Africa Command for purposes of exercises and other activities. So that was what made it into the news, and then an extrapolation about a drone base from there. But we are certainly...
A news report that was an exaggeration.
It does happen.
Unusual. Ambassador Carson, resolving the ongoing conflict in northern Mali is obviously critical to maintaining the stability and integrity of the Malian state, along with setting a date for elections. The roadmap for transition adopted by Mali's parliament on January 30th lays out a need for opening negotiations to the Tuareg separatists in the north. What is your assessment of this roadmap, and does it provide a good path, a clear path toward reconciliation and unity?
I think the roadmap is a significant and important document. It demonstrates and underscores the consensus of the Malian political class and the parliament to stand behind a rapid transition to elections and a new democratic dispensation. I think that it is incumbent upon all of us in the international community to encourage as strongly as possible that the Malian government follow this roadmap and live up to the timetable that's outlined there.
We'll go to Mr. Rohrabacher.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And Ambassador Carson, I want to thank you for your many years of service and your great contributions to our country over your life. And it's just something, those of us who know about it really respect you, and you're providing us some good information today as well, and thanks for that. I'd like to get a little bit of understanding again about this conflict and about why we have to be involved, or even France has to be involved. Is this essentially an ethnic or tribal conflict in this country? Do we have black Africans in the south and Arabic Africans in the north? Is that the nature of this conflict?
Congressman, the situation is a very complex one. There are historical disagreements that divide the Tuareg in particular, who were mostly northern Berber and Arab descendants, from those who live in the southern part of the country. The Tuaregs were a political and security problem for the French long before independence in 1960.
Ambassador Carson, it sounds like this was a real